put him on?
I don't know. Let's see. Are you?
Probably. Unfortunately.
Mine's making me do that.
Welcome everyone to Norristown Area High School. As you just saw, the tremendous block by Alan Yates. We, due to technical difficulties, lost the first segment of our audio. So you're listening right now to a non-live commentary. I'm Mark Holodinsky on NASD TV, channel 45/28, and you'll be rejoined by myself with the live commentary in just a few brief moments. Once again, the Eagles come into this game 2-0, hosting the Upper Moreland Golden Bears, who come in with a record of 0-3. There's Mayer going with the running the point now. And now it's in the hands of Chris Davis. We get it back to Mayer now, back up to the top. Here's Mayer taking the three, and it's no good. The rebound chased down by Hargrove, and now back out to Davis, and they'll reset it up. Davis and Mayer, of course, coming off that huge opening game against Math, Civics, and Sciences as the misses. Put back up, no good. Hargrove tries again, and there is a whistle and a foul. Number 15, Rashid McCray will go to the line. McCray, the 6-foot junior guard, he'll take the two. First one is up and good. Rashid McCray for the second of two. It's up and off the mark. Rebounded by Upper Moreland. And they'll head back the other way. Obviously, Norristown expected to win this game and expected to win it big. Of course, Upper Moreland perennial bottom dollars as that jumper's missed, and Hargrove pulls it down. And of course, Norristown coming off of 2 great years, which have included PIAA, Quad A, state runners-up, District 1 champions, and now here's Hargrove out to Mayer. And of course, a lot of new faces on this Eagles team that we don't really know a lot about, so it's going to be an interesting game and season. Here's Yates now with a little hop step, puts it up, couldn't get it to go. Being juggled around, and Hargrove pulls down an offensive rebound. He'll take the baseline jumper. He misses it. And it's rebounded in there by Upper Moreland. Well, they got a number of opportunities there, but weren't able to make anything of it. And here comes Upper Moreland the other way. They get it inside. That shot is up and no good, and it's rebounded by the guard, Davis. Here comes Davis. Got tremendous speed, coming off a huge opening game in which he scored a dozen. Davis over to Mayer. Mayer has been on this team since his freshman year, one of the few faces that has been here for a while and has some serious varsity experience. Here's McCray out to Davis. Davis never hesitant to shoot the three, and he got it. Chris Davis for three. Some full court pressure being instituted now by the Eagles, but Upper Moreland able to break it. Here they come. Dribbles it off of his foot now into the corner. That three ball is up and good. And that's one thing the Upper Moreland Golden Bears can do pretty well is shoot the three. But the Eagles have the advantage in so many other areas. That's why they're expected to win this game big. Here's McCray now. McCray, one of the key juniors on this Norristown team this year that's led mostly by seniors. Here's Davis. Now it's back in the hands of McCray, and now Mayer. Mayer with the feed over to McCray. Takes it inside and got it to go. A little bit of contact. The whistle's silent, but McCray will take the two. So here comes Upper Moreland the other way, trying to break that full court pressure we spoke of. That long jumper's up and no good, and Chris Davis gets another board from the guard position. And there is a foul called. So the Eagles will take it side out of bounds. And here comes Mayer bringing it up for the Eagles. Sheldon Mayer, of course, coming off of a football season in which he rushed for over 1,400 yards for the Eagles varsity football squad. So that's got to take its toll on a guy. But obviously, he's ready to lead this team. Here's Yates, puts it up, doesn't get it to go. Got his own miss, though, but then lost it. Goes out of bounds. It's going to stay down here. So the Eagles will get another chance. Here's Hargrove now. Coming off of a 13-point road game against Truman, which his Eagles won by 23. McCray now. Back out to Mayer. Now Yates inside. One of the few post threats for the Eagles. Mayer puts up 3, doesn't get it to go. Rebound tipped around, and Upper Moreland comes down with it. Here comes the Golden Bears the other way. Mayer and Hargrove some tight defense. That's one thing this Eagles team could do with the best is defend that perimeter with guys like Hargrove and Mayer. That 3 is up and good. So Upper Moreland playing right with Norristown here early. Kind of surprising, I guess. But anything can happen in this game, and we're seeing that right now. As the Eagles, of course, expected to come in here and blow out this team, but there's plenty of time left, so we'll see what transpires. Mike Evans talking things over with his Eagles in the timeout. And it's been Davis, Mayer, and Hargrove off to nice starts, not only in the season, but today in this game as well. So the Eagles will break the huddle. So as the teams emerge from their respective timeout huddles, it is indeed an 11-10 game in favor of the Upper Moreland Golden Bears. Of course, the Eagles, heavy favorites in this game. Upper Moreland 0-3. The Eagles 2-0, and of course, all that success they've had over previous years, and there's a foul on Sheldon Mayer committed against Ranye Dennis, number 23. Well, Upper Moreland 0-3, losing by just 3 points to Lower Moreland, 50-41 to Council Rock South, and blown out 82-39 by PW. Now Sheldon Mayer gets a steal, and here goes the Eagles. Mayer out to Davis. already has 1-3 in the game. Oh, and he can't make it 2. The rebound for Yates, puts it back up, couldn't get it to go. Almost got another one. It's loose, and it is picked up, actually out of bounds, but it's going to stay down here with the Eagles. That was Aaron Webb able to keep that one alive along with Yates. And we've got just 1:26 to go in the first quarter. Of course, the Eagles probably a lot more athletic than this Upper Moreland team, a little bit bigger, certainly more success over the past 2 years by far. Upper Moreland maybe with a little bit of an advantage in terms of shooting the ball, but really this is Norristown's game to lose, no doubt about that. They go inside for Hargrove, puts it up, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound is pulled in by Ben Flommer, the 6'4" senior. This one's out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Golden Bears of Upper Moreland. Well, the Upper Moreland Bears, of course, led by Ben Flommer, who you just saw there on that last rebound. Also Ryan Burnick and Phil Morris. That's really their big three, so to speak. And, of course, the Eagles so deep. How about this? The Eagles, only one player on the Eagles has not scored yet this year. That's Tom Smith. He hasn't played in either game. Of course, we will wait and see if he will be eligible this year. We expect to hear about that Saturday. Of course, the Eagles held their own in terms of the down low in the paint as Hargrove gets it just inside the foul line and puts it in. But they were without Bryant Bayless in the first game, too. Of course, he rejoined the team for the second game. And a couple of tough moments for them inside as they get Ranye Dennis to the basket, and he is fouled. But Yates held his own and then was helped up by Bayless in the second game. And, of course, that was one of the questions, really, coming into this year is how are the Eagles going to be able to contend with some bigger teams inside. Yeah, Yates is 6'5". Yeah, Tom Smith's a beast down there, but he's only about 6'2". So Dennis misses the free throw. But, yeah, the Eagles were not dominated inside in the first game, and as a result got the win. And Evan Smith, hopefully, and Bayless back is going to help a lot. Dennis for the second of two. And he gets it. So we got a tie ball game here with just a half a minute to go in the quarter. Here's Davis. Davis still with it. Has had an outstanding season so far with 19 points overall in this season. So that's 9.5 a game. Hargrove gets it inside, puts it up, puts it in. And I love Hargrove down there, down low, as opposed to taking those long twos. I like him in and around the basket. Nice looking play there. This is Matt Worley, and it's stripped. They got to put it up in there. Will not get it off. And we have a 14-12 Eagles lead at the end of one. The Eagles 2-0, Upper Moreland 0-3, but we got a very closely contested game. I'm Mark Kolodinsky, here with NASD TV, and glad to bring you this game here from Norristown. And Jaquil Hargrove off to an outstanding start with 8 points and 3 boards. Of course, if you're a fan of NASD TV and Norristown Sports, you'll catch Sports Show Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30 p.m., Saturday, Sunday at 2:30 p.m. And you'll see all of us breaking down not only the basketball action, but all of the action in Norristown Sports. And you'll even see Jaquil Hargrove and I, of course, Jaquil, like we said with those 8 points already, talk about this game and all of the others, including the girls' games. So we hope you'll tune into that. Davis and McCray have the rest of the Eagles' points. And for Upper Moreland, Phil Morris with 6. And he's never had less than 7 points in a game so far this season. And then, of course, Ben Flommer with 5. He is averaging just over 8 points a game coming into this one. So the team's just about ready to start the second quarter, and Upper Moreland, of course, you know, we said the one area they might have an advantage in over the Eagles is in terms of shooting the ball, and they've shown it already with 3 threes. And I feel like if they want to have a chance to contend in this game, they got to shoot like well over 50% from deep. They got to really be on in terms of their shooting, or else they're going to get blown out today. Could be an unrepentant beatdown. So Upper Moreland starting out with possession. Ranye Dennis kicking it out. Now it's inside for Flommer. Flommer has good size down there, but he can also shoot a little bit. Here he tries it, gets it, and a foul. And he shouldn't be fouled from all the way out there. And now it's a tie game, and Flommer has a chance to untie it from the line. Of course, we mentioned Flommer averaging 8.3 points a game so far early in the season, and off to a good start here with 7. Flommer, the 6'4" senior forward, completes the three-point play with ease. Here's Davis. Got the defender in the air. Davis, unbelievable speed and quickness, had an amazing first game, not only with the 12 points, but also with steals and assists as well. Here's Davis for Hargrove. Back to Davis, looks at a 3. He can certainly shoot the 3. Now it's Aaron Webb, who played sparingly in the first game, but chipped in with 8 in the Eagles' second game of this and most recent game of the season. Good tip by Mayer, who got way up there to tip it out to Davis, and now the Eagles get another chance. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the second quarter, and Davis drills a 3. Chris Davis now has 6. Chris Davis has been unbelievably impressive to me so far this year. And of course, it's early, but man, he's just been a star. It's been all about him, Hargrove, and Mayer. Their quickness. No one can really stop them. Here's Ranier Dennis. 17-15 Eagles. The 3 is up and airballed by number 42, Carl Wambold. Wambold, a sophomore, the only sophomore, not only on Upper Moreland, but in this game. And the Eagles are really led by all their seniors. McCray and Tyrese White will make significant contributions as juniors. Jaquan Hargrove perhaps as well, and Malik Williams, Aaron Webb. But mostly it's all about the seniors with the Eagles, like this one, Hargrove. But now it's in the hands of Davis. Goes baseline and now gets it to Jaquan Hargrove, who was fouled before the shot. So the Eagles will inbound it. Head coach Brian Corrado of the Upper Moreland Bears giving his team some signals. Davis with a nice inbound pass, but Webb couldn't finish. Hargrove couldn't put it back, but he has a third opportunity, and Hargrove puts it in. Jaquil Hargrove. And now some high-pressure defense by the Eagles in the backcourt. That's how they create a lot of turnovers and get a lot of easy points in transition. Dennis puts it up, but it was tipped, and Hargrove pulls down a rebound. And boy, Jaquil Hargrove can play with those centers and power forwards, even though he's a little bit smaller than them. Here's Dennis bringing it up. Gets it to Nick Giordano, who missed a 3. Giordano, the center, has some range and tried to get it to go there. But Sheldon Mayer ends up with a loose ball. The Eagles get the steal. Nice feed for Hargrove, high off the glass, but he doesn't get it to go. Giordano batting it around. The Eagles still fighting for it. It's loose, and they call a foul. Or a timeout. No, it will be a foul. Eagles have extended their lead to 4, but, I mean, many people, including myself, expect this Eagles team to win by double digits here at home against an inferior Upper Moreland team. The Eagles will go to the bench. We mentioned how deep they are and how everyone who has played in a game this year has scored. And all their players have played in a game, except Tom Smith, who, of course, hasn't played. 5.5 minutes to go. A surprisingly close game here so far early. Giordano in some trouble. And they call a 5-second violation, and the Eagles will take possession. So McCray will inbound to Sheldon Mayer. Sheldon Mayer, of course, with 23 points so far on the season, so that's 11.5 per. And, you know, we mentioned how great of a key he's been for this team over the past years, just distributing the ball, making the right decision, not taking any bad shots. And this is where we pondered if he would have to take on more of a scoring role, and he certainly has. Davis is fouled from beyond the arc and is going to have 3 from the line. So, and, you know, we also wondered how they're going to replace that 20 points a game from Wyatt. Well, Davis stepping up huge, Mayer as well. Hargrove looks like he's going to be a key scorer as he's coming off of a game in which he scored 13, a team-leading 13, in the blowout win over Truman. Of course, the Eagles have that blowout win over Truman, and in the opening day 9-point victory against Math, Civics, and Sciences Charter. Davis gets it to bounce off the rim about 1,000,000 times, but it eventually goes down. Davis, a good free throw shooter. His second is up and good. Eagles struggled with their free throws against math, civics, and sciences. And it's something that I think they know they have to fix that, especially if they want to concentrate on driving to the basket rather than settling for jumpers, which is something they certainly should do. And it's early here, but Chris Davis is certainly doing his part. And he makes it a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. Now puts some defensive pressure on. They take it up with Matt Worley. Worley to the basket, puts it up. Got it, and the foul. So Matt Worley, who had one real bright game this year against Council Rock South where he dropped a 9. 6-foot junior point guard, and he will shoot 1 to try to bring his team to within 4. Puts it up, leaves it short. The rebound controlled by McCray. To get it to Tyrese White, now to Sheldon Mayer. Ahead to Davis. This Eagles team likes to push the tempo. They haven't been able to do it that much here today, though. Mayer, back to Davis. Perhaps a reason why they're only leading by 5. Davis to Mayer. Hoists a 3. It's off the mark. White gets it, though. Gets it to McCray. The Eagles just dominating the rebounding battle right now. Here's Davis. So many offensive rebounds, so many second and third chance opportunities. Davis for 3. Off the mark. A nice save by Mayer. Got it to White. Puts it up. Got it to go. Sheldon Mayer, not only with a brilliant save, also with the assist. And Tyrese White, nice job to finish that one up on the play. And Tyrese White averaging 4.5 points a game on the season. Davis has an easy layup here off the steal. And he converts. And it's 27 to 17. Actually, 26 to 17. Ryan Bernick bringing it up for the Bears. Bernick with Mayer guarding him, an excellent defender. And he'll get it to Scott Smith, 6'3", big junior. Nick Giordano down low, puts it up, couldn't get it to go. Nice defense on the play by Jaquan Hargrove, brother of Jaquil. And here comes Davis the other way. Davis gets it to Mayer, back to Davis. He had an open look, decided against taking it. Here's Mayer. Nice baseline drive and a little floater, and it goes in. You know, I don't really mind Davis passing up that 3. Yeah, it was pretty open, and I don't mind them taking the open 3 when it's there, but I don't feel like it's something that this team should rely on. I feel like what they should rely on is their transition offense, and then when they have to set it up in the half court, try to drive and get to the basket. With all that speed they have, they can just blow by some guys, and they have some excellent finishers as well, even though they're small. Well, Jaquil Hargrove already in double digits with 10. He might be on his way to a double-double tonight as he has 10 and 5. He's been outstanding. Chris Davis with 11. We mentioned how much the Eagles are dominating that rebounding battle. Well, it's 10 to 6 right now in terms of rebounding. And, of course, Jaquil Hargrove leading the way with 5. And Chris Davis with 3 from the point guard spot, so that's obviously big as well. Ben Flommer and Phil Morris have combined for the vast majority of Upper Moreland Bear points, as they've combined for 13. So the Eagles have finally started to put their foot on the gas. It's 28-17, and they could really put this game away before the half, I feel like. Get it to about 15 or maybe even 20. And they call a foul here. Good swarming defense by the Eagles, but a reach in. I believe it's on Chris Davis. And it is. It's his first. Aaron Webb will come back into the game. We have yet to see an appearance from Bryant Bayless, who made his season debut last game. And, of course, he's new to this school. He's a senior at 6'4". Upper Moreland has trouble inbounding it, and they took too much time. Turnover. You only got 5 seconds to throw it inbounds. They didn't do it. Eagles ball. And, of course, Bryant Bayless, so not only was it his debut in the season, but it is Eagles' debut. Was his debut as a Norristown Eagle, and he dropped 3 points in that Truman beatdown, and we have yet to see him today, as we've mentioned. I'm looking forward to seeing that, though. Here's Mayer, had a semi-open look for 3, pass it up. Now Webb with an awkward pass to White, back to Webb. Stops at the foul and kicks it out to Mayer. Not hesitant to take the 3 this time. and it's a little bit off. But another offensive rebound for the Eagles. Mayer just out of control, kind of lost it. And Hargrove saved it, but to the Bears. I looked like they tried to foul Matt Worley going the other way, but he misses the layup by quite a bit. Hargrove's all by himself, puts it up, got it to go. 30-17 Eagles, and they're on quite a little run here, 8-0. 8-0 run for the Eagles. Here's Phil Morris trying to handle that Eagles backcourt pressure. Not really doing a great job of it. They nearly batted away. Rasheed McCray came out of nowhere to bat it away, but couldn't control it enough to get the Eagles possession. Bryant Bayless is now indeed into the game. Wearing that 25 that Jarrell Gardner wore for the past couple of years. Maybe kind of a similar player in a way, but we'll see. We don't know a lot about this kid yet. That's why I'm real excited to see him. Got good size, though, at 6'4". And I think he'll be a huge asset to this team. That inside pass is off for Matt Worley, who couldn't get up enough to handle it. And with 1:53 to go in the half, it's 30-17 Eagles. I'm Mark Hodinsky for NASD TV, channel 28 or 45, depending on your provider. But either way, you're watching some great Eagles basketball right now. Coming off of wins in their first 2 games, trying to make it 3, leading by 13. Hargrove to Davis. Bayless posting up inside, but instead they go over to Hargrove. Now into the corner for Webb. Back out to Hargrove. Here's Davis. Puts the 3 up. He has been not shy at all taking those 3s. But this one doesn't go either. Here's Scott Smith now. Gets it for Giordano. Giordano puts it up and puts it in. Nick Giordano averaging just over 5 points a game on the year. He had 10 against crosstown rival Lower Moreland in the opening game, but has been quiet ever since. Here, though, Ben Flommer ends up with a steal right in his hands. Hands it off to Matt Worley. Matt Worley in some trouble, falls down, no call, and it's out of bounds. I think that was off of Worley, and the referees say Eagles ball. Boy, you'd think there would be some kind of call, whether it be a travel, an offensive foul, a defensive foul, something. Ball goes out of bounds. They finally blow the whistle. So I don't know about the no call, but in terms of who touched it last out of bounds, that was certainly the right call because Worley did hit it out with his hand last. Eagles might be thinking about last shot. There's still a lot of time with 35 seconds, but Webb appears to be in no kind of hurry. On the floor for the Eagles, it's Hargrove, White, Webb, Davis, and Bayless. Now they kick it out for Hargrove. And he'll bring it back up top, try to work some clock. 18 seconds to go in the half. Again, 30-19 Eagles. Davis takes a peek at the clock. Now with 11 seconds left, they'll get into their offense. There's White. Gets it out to Davis. Davis over to White. It's blocked. The three-point attempt blocked by Ben Flommer. That one's launched. It's not even close. I believe it was after the buzzer anyway. And at the end of one, the Norristown Eagles lead the Upper Moreland Golden Bears 30-19. The first quarter was very closely contested, surprisingly closely contested, but it's the Eagles with the 11-point lead at the half, highlighted by Chris Davis and Jaquel Hargrove, who combined for 23 points. That's 12 from Hargrove and 11 from Davis in the half alone. So these two guys going off, also 5 rebounds for Hargrove, 3 for Davis. And Ben Flommer's been the star for the Bears with 9 and 2, that is points and rebounds. So we'll be right back for some second half action. The Eagles, well, they have yet to put this one away, but they're in good shape, 30-19. We'll see you shortly. You're watching NASD TV. Boys varsity basketball, the Eagles hosting Upper Moreland tonight. I'm Mark Hodinsky, and we'll be right back. It was taken care of. Welcome back, everyone. We're here at Norristown Area High School for the Eagles' third game of the year, varsity basketball. Today hosting the Upper Moreland Golden Bears, a team that certainly they should kill. But we're glad you could join us on NASD TV for some intense basketball action. The second half coming up. It's 30-19 Eagles, and well, the story has not really been too surprising. It's been the Eagles' defense creating turnovers, 9 of them actually, that have helped them to the 11-point lead and only turning it over twice. And it seems like we say it every game, the Eagles winning the turnover battle quite handily. Also, one of the problems in the first game was the free throw shooting. Not so today, as they're shooting 80%, 4 of 5. Meanwhile, the Upper Moreland Bears, who are supposed to be the superior shooting team, have left some points at the line. They're shooting just 50%. Hargrove's really been the star. He's got 12 and 5. But Davis also chipping in with 11 points. So that's the majority of your Eagles offense right there. Ben Flummer, though, has hit a couple of 3 balls, and he has 9 points. And he's keeping the Upper Moreland Bears around. And, of course, again, it's somebody with pretty good size who's hurting the Eagles. Yates, Smith, and Bayless, of course, those big men. Smith not able to play through the first 3 games. We'll see if we can get him back. Some eligibility concerns in terms of his age and all that. But we expect to have Tom Smith, and we look forward to that, no doubt. Tom Smith is one of the funnest players to watch with all of his heart and passion for the game. But, yeah, Yates and Bayless, the big men right now. And we didn't have Bayless in the first game against Math, Civics, and Sciences as the second half is underway with McCray driving. Puts it up. Didn't get it to go, but I love the aggressive drive. Upper Moreland is able to get the rebound, though. It's nearly stolen away, but it is indeed ends up in the hands of Matt Worley. That shot is up and no good as Yates grabs the board. So, yeah, once again, it's somebody with size. It was in the last game it kind of happened as well against Math, Civics, and Sciences. And Davis drills the long, too. But, yeah, if the Eagles can kind of just keep those big men, these talented big men, just kind of under control, they should win the game pretty easily. Just don't let them go off. Matt Worley kicking it out. Giordano doesn't get the bounce. Rebound by Flommer down there, though. Pump fake, puts it up, got it to go, and a foul. So right on cue, it's the big man Flommer getting, I believe that was Alan Yates in the air, and then drawing the foul and getting the and one. Of course, all started on an offensive rebound. So the Eagles' lead is cut to 10, and that is indeed Yates, and it is his first. 32-22 the score. The Eagles on top, and Flommer will go to the line. Flommer, like we said, with 9 first half points, so he's up to 11 and 12. Now tied with Hargrove to be the leading scorer in this game. Here is Davis. Finds Mayer. Back to Davis. You know, we mentioned how balanced this Eagles scoring was probably going to be this year, with no dominant scorer like a Khalif White or anything, but it's been anything but through the first couple of games. It's been all Hargrove, Mayer, and Davis. Of course, it's early. Yates left it short. He's unable to grab it, and Upper Moreland will take over. 6:47 to go in the third quarter. The Eagles up by 10. I'm Mark Hodinski. You're watching Eagles varsity basketball here on NASD TV. Nice pass, and Ben Flommer's able to finish. He's got 14. Here's Sheldon Mayer bringing it up. Finds McCray. McCray driving baseline, lost it. But he is fouled. Not a shooting foul, of course, but still, McCray, I love his aggressive nature. Driving it hard to the basket any opportunity he gets. I think I've said it time and time again, I think the Eagles need to get to the basket rather than settle for jumpers. And, of course, with no dominant post presence, I mean, they got some decent players down there, but all their best players are really along the perimeter, like Davis and Mayer and Hargrove. Here is Mayer. Back to McCray. Davis for 3. He's been anything but shy today, and he drills this one. So Chris Davis now has 14. Boy, Davis, he can hit that outside shot, and he takes a lot of them, and sometimes it might be ill-advised, but boy, he can really hit the three. He's got a pair of them today. Here's Hargrove coming up with this loose ball. Nice little hop step inside, but it rattles in and out. It is no good. Here's Matt Worley off his foot, and here comes the Eagles with a little 3-on-2 action. Davis to Hargrove, to the basket. He'll go to the line. Hargrove can make the lead a dozen if he hits some free throws. The Eagles, as we mentioned, 4 of 5 from the line so far. The majority of that's been Davis. He's got 3 of the Eagles' 4 free throws. Of course, he was fouled from beyond the arc. So, yeah, he only has 2 threes in the game, but he also has that where he was fouled and went to the line and hit all 3 of them. Here's Hargrove for the first of 2. That foul moments ago was on Phil Morris. It's his second, and the free throw is good by Hargrove. Well, the fan support isn't what it was for the home opener and season opener, but some good fan support showed tonight. And the Eagles continue to hit free throws at an impressive rate, as they are now 6 for 7. Hargrove and Davis now even at 14 points apiece. It's like they have their own little personal battle going on. Who could score more? It's a season high for both of them. Of course, just a young season, but nevertheless. Flommer for 3, and he could do that too. Oh no, Ben Flommer, he's scoring down low, he's scoring outside, and he's keeping them in this game as they're only down by 9. Here's McCray bouncing it out to Mayer, fakes the bounce pass. McCray driving. Try to get it to go to Hargrove, but it's intercepted by Ryan Burnick. That's a dangerous pass, but somehow it finds Flommer, puts it up, try to draw a foul, and nothing there. Davis is gonna have an easy layup, and he got it. Phil Morris came and tried to make a play on it, but it was far too late for all the speed that Davis has in the break. Well run by the Eagles. Not surprising. Boy, they threw that pass up on Sean Mayer. I guess they don't know that Sean Mayer plays defensive back for the Norristown Eagles football team. Flommer camping out in the corner. Couldn't get it to go, but an awkward bounce off the rim. And Giordano gets the rebound, the putback, and the foul, and the Upper Moreland Bears are trying to creep their way back into this ballgame. It's 38-29, and Giordano's going to go to the line. And I certainly came in here expecting a double-digit win for the Eagles, expecting an unrepentant beatdown of sorts, but it's been a pretty competitive game thus far. The Eagles' greatest lead has been 13, and that was just before the half. Of course, a late bucket by Upper Moreland made it 30-19 at the half. And, of course, Upper Moreland's come out and outscored the Eagles 9-8, or 10-8 in the second half thus far. Giordano to shoot 1. 4 minutes, 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Giordano with 2 points and 2 rebounds in this game, but 3 turnovers. So he has been anything but efficient, but has a chance to help his team out here. Of course, Upper Moreland as a team has been extremely turnover prone. And Giordano leaves the free throw extremely short. And the rebound is to Malik Williams, who's into the game for the first time in the half. Here's Mayer out to Davis. Back to Mayer. Inside for Hargrove, and now back out for Tyrese White. Puts it up from just inside the arc and drills it. Tyrese White, as we mentioned earlier, averaging 4.5 a game. He had a 7-point game in the Eagles opener. Impressive start for the junior. Ranier Dennis nearly lost it. Hargrove is able to bat it out, and now it's to Davis ahead of everybody. Oh, and he ends up fouled on the play. So the Upper Moreland, not a bad foul, prevent Davis from getting 2 easy ones, as they're just barely able to catch up to him and push him, force him to kind of go into the backboard and lose control. Davis trying to add to his 16. The first one's up and short. His first missed free throw of the game. He is 3 for 4 personally on the day. Eagles as a team, 6 for 8. So both of them shooting 75%. Davis, the second, is up and good. So Chris Davis getting it done from the line, really getting it done from everywhere. Here comes Matt Worley. Mayer plucks it away. Let's see if he could get the fast break bucket. couldn't get it to go, but a nice finish by Tyrese White, who put a little English on that one to get it to go in off the backboard. And the Eagles have their biggest lead of the game at 14. It is 43-29. And Upper Moreland takes a timeout. Mike Evans talking things over with his Eagles. Brian Corrado is the head coach of Upper Moreland, and in his huddle, talking to his Bears, trying to tell them that they got to keep their heads up and stay in this game. They've played with the Eagles for so long. Can't let it go away now. Eagles winning that transition battle, and it's not surprising at all, but 10-0. They've outscored their opponents in transition. And I mean, quite frankly, Upper Moreland's not a very athletic team. They more rely on shooting the ball and maybe some post-ups from the likes of Giordano and Flommer. And of course, the Eagles, guard heavy, like to run the floor, and they're very good at it. 10 fast break points. And we're not even through 3 quarters yet. Well, the Eagles will break their huddle with Mayer, Hargrove, Davis, White, and Malik Williams. It's the same 5 they left the floor with. And they will take the Upper Moreland Bears the ball. 43-29. Here is Matt Worley, being covered by Davis. Here comes Mayer, and they're double teaming him way back near half court. But that one is drilled by Dennis, so the Eagles, for a change, kind of get burned by that high-pressure defense. But, boy, it's a big reason they have the big lead, so I wouldn't go away from it. Sheldon Mayer drills the jumper. Sheldon's had a quiet scoring game. He's got just 4. Here comes Upper Moreland. Flommer for 3. Rattles it in and out. Even when he misses, it's close. And there was a foul called here, and the Eagles will take possession. (45-31). The lead is still 14. Norristown's out rebounded Upper Moreland 12-6. And I mean, yeah, the Eagles aren't exactly the biggest team, especially this year, but Upper Moreland is even less so, so no surprise really. Of course, the Eagles a lot more athletic and get a lot of rebound contributions from guys like Hargrove and even Davis from guard and small forward positions, because they got a lot of athleticism there. Davis nearly had to bat it away, but he's able to regain it. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Davis has done the majority of the ball handling for the Eagles. It has not been Mayer. Mayer inside for Malik Williams. Now back outside for Tyrese White. And they'll take their time, look for a good shot. White hoists up a 3, and he got it to go. Tyrese White hasn't shot a lot of 3s this year, but when he has, they've gone in. 48-31. Mayer with some good backcourt defense. And then kind of got burned there a little bit at the end and had to commit the foul. But it's just the Eagles' 3rd foul, so certainly far away from the penalty. So you don't worry about that too much. It's Sheldon Mayer's 2nd. He's going to come off. They'll insert Aaron Webb in his spot. Upper Moreland inbounding all the way into the backcourt. They go to Matt Worley. Worley with the hop step puts it up a little bit too strong off the glass. Great move to get to the basket, but the finish just wasn't there. Here's Hargrove now, slowing it down. Well, this certainly hasn't been the fast-paced game like we saw math, civics, and sciences, but the Eagles certainly adapting their style and playing quite well. That game was just at a frenetic pace. Here's Aaron Webb getting it back out to White. Not a good pass, but he'll be able to get back. Chris Davis now. Davis, the 5'9" senior guard, of course, has not played his entire career here at Norristown, but certainly going to be a key to the team this year. Webb stepped into it, but then passed it back out to Davis. Davis kicking it out to White. Takes another 3. It's well short, but Hargrove gets it back in the little reverse layup, and Hargrove gets another bucket. 50-31. Minute and 10 to go in the quarter, and the Eagles have really kind of stepped on the gas here and kind of, I don't want to say they put the game away, but they're really on the verge of doing so. It's the 14th rebound of the game for the Eagles. Upper Moreland has still just 6. And that's been a huge key for the Eagles. Unbelievable amount of offensive rebounds. Jaquil Hargrove with 16. And he's not even first in the team in scoring, as that belongs to Davis, who has 17. Giordano tries to save it, but Hargrove is able to pick it up off of his shins. And they kick it out to Davis. Steps into a three. Give him 20. Chris Davis has gone off. Well, he was tied with Ben Flummer with 17 for the game high, but no longer is Davis with 20. That one has to be saved, and he saves it right into the Upper Moreland bench, does Phil Morris, so the Eagles will take over. Well, Chris Davis, if this game ended right now, would be averaging 13 points a game. And I mean, that's a lot more than we expected any one player to be averaging through 3 games this year, as we anticipated a real balanced attack. But, from a night-to-night basis, it could change, who has a big game. That's what we kind of expected, but it looks like Chris Davis is just going to be a star. We didn't think anybody would lead this team in scoring by a good margin or anything. Of course, with Sheldon Mayer and Jaquil Hargrove, putting points in like they have been, that might be the case. But, boy, that trio looks really good early in the season. Davis for White, just 5 seconds to go in the quarter now. The Eagles trying to get something at the buzzer. Davis, he's going to have to put it up, lost control, and it's just kind of swatted away effortlessly by Giordano. Not a good last possession, but through 3 quarters, the Eagles with now a 22-point lead on the visiting Upper Moreland Bears, 53-31. So Hargrove, not only does he have 16 points, but he has 7 boards as he leads the team in the game by a vast margin. And, we talked about Upper Moreland's ability to shoot the 3, with being outsized, kind of out-athleticismed. The Upper Moreland, we're going to need a lot of shooting from beyond the arc to kind of stay in this game. Well, it's been the Eagles with 15 points from beyond the arc, and Upper Moreland with just 4 threes. So, the Eagles are kind of beating them at their own game, and that's no good for them. And the Eagles have hit their free throws at an extremely efficient rate tonight, as they are 6 of 9. If I do my math, or 7 of 9. If I do my math correctly, that is 77.7%. Well, Ben Fulmer, like we said, he's been trying to keep his Upper Moreland Bears in the game. He has more than half their points. He has 17 of their 31, but, Upper Moreland has 3 individuals with 3 turnovers. The Eagles only have 4 as a team. So, that right there really encapsulates the Eagles' dominance in terms of that aspect of the game. The Eagles are going to open the quarter with possession. 53-31 is the lead. Sheldon Mayer with the ball. Mayer to Webb. Back out to Hargrove. And the Eagles really have no reason to force the issue here. They could just kind of lay back, play it safe. White for 3. Doesn't get the bounce. But it's back to Aaron Webb, who finds some loose change and deposits it for 2. Matt Worley racing down the court. Runs into some double-team defense, and then Scott Smith tries to put it up and ends up getting fouled. That's the Eagles' 15th rebound of the game. We mentioned how much they've dominated the glass. And like we said, they don't have unbelievable size, but, you have a guy like Jaquil Hargrove with 7 rebounds. That's the kind of things that these guys can do. Banked in by Scott Smith. Ugly, but it counts. 55-32. And the Eagles, barring some kind of an epic collapse, are going to go to 3-0 and send Upper Moreland to 0-4. Scott Smith is second of 2. Nearly banked it again, but it's no good, and the rebound bounces around into the hands of Sheldon Mayer. Mayer nearly tripped, keeps going all the way to the bucket, and then dishes it off for Hargrove. What a feed from Sheldon Mayer. Just drove through that defense, showing some of his halfback skills. Of course, Sheldon Mayer rushed for over 1,400 yards in the fall as a part of this football team. And then, of course, at the end, showing that amazing passing ability and amazing floor awareness to get it to Hargrove, who was in a perfect spot and banked it in beautifully. Giordano trying to get it in, having trouble. And then Malik Williams, who was kind of guarding the inbound pass, just took it away. Mayer stops, pops, hits. Sheldon Mayer turning it on here. He's now got 6. Hasn't had less than 11 in either of the first 2 games, but he's still been extremely solid, even though he hasn't put up a tremendous amount of points. Great pass ahead for White. Hit him in stride. But Upper Moreland's able to catch up to him, and they strip it, and it'll stay with Norristown, but no foul. Upper Moreland with a nice defensive transition play. So Sheldon Mayer to inbound it. 6 minutes and 44 seconds to go. The Eagles lead this one, 59-32. That one rattles around. It's no good. Hargrove tried to put it back, couldn't get it to go. Well, I mean, Hargrove has spent a lot of time in that paint, and he's doing a great job down there as Webb commits the foul. And that'll send Upper Moreland to the line for 1-1 as the Eagles are now in the penalty. But, yeah, Hargrove spent a lot of time down there in the paint, and I like that. You know, don't rely on those long jumpers. Get into the paint. You know, he's probably about, 6'2", 6'3", but, I mean, able to get up there with anybody. And as the free throw is good, and it's 59-33. But, yeah, Hargrove's done a great job down there. He's a great finisher around the rim, and that's what's helped him to 20 points so far tonight. Matt Worley got the second. So he hits both ends of the 1-1 and cuts the deficit to 15, but with only 6.5 minutes to go, the Eagles should feel pretty safe. Mayer, not a good pass. Him and McCray just weren't on the same page, really, but he nearly was able to get it back as it ends up deflecting out of bounds and Upper Moreland will inbound. Phil Morris to inbound it. 26 points for him through the first 3 games, so he's averaging 8.7, if I could do that math in my head correctly real quick. Ronye Dennis misses it, but an offensive rebound for Flommer, who was held a little bit. They prevented him from getting the basket, and he'll go to the line. Boy, if not for Flommer, I mean, the Eagles would be winning this rebounding battle like 80-1, but Flommer has held his own. Flommer has 4 boards and 17 points. Free throw up and short. He has not been hitting from the line. McCray exits the game. Tyrese White back in after a short break. Flommer for his second of 2. Puts it up, puts it in. He's now got 18 of the Upper Moreland Bears' 35 points. That's more than half. Sheldon Mayer running the offense for the Eagles. McCray ready to check right back into this game. He's at the scorer's table. Hargrove over to Mayer. Worley gambled a little bit, so he had some room, but good help defense by Flommer, but he ends up fouling Mayer and helping him up. So Sheldon Mayer will go to the line. Sheldon Mayer. He's been on this team since his freshman year. He's been starting since his sophomore year. And they're going to miss him after this year's up as he puts that one up and in. And like we said, more of a scoring role for Mayer this year than ever before with guys like Wyatt, Christmas, even from a couple of years ago, guys like Russ Graham, Quentin Watson, Maurice Briggs, all them gone. Mayer kind of has to shoulder more of a scoring load, and it's quite evident that he could handle it if the first 3 games are any indication. What a tip-in by Malik Williams. It kind of came out of nowhere to kind of clean it up. And Malik Williams is a very solid player if, you know, from what we've seen so far. Good size, and with the Eagles not having a huge surplus of that, he'll be really valuable. Phil Morris jacked up a 3 and missed it, and the Eagles pull down the rebound. Here comes Mayer. Eagles already with 62 points, a great offensive display. Handoff to Webb. Kevin Bush is going to check into the game for the first time at the next whistle. 5 minutes and change to go in the game. Here's Aaron Webb. Going to Malik Williams, now to Mayer. Eagles lead by 27, 62-35. We've pretty much got this one in hand. Here's Malik Williams now. Finds McCray, wearing that 15 that Lorenzo Christmas put up 10 points a game in last year. And that one was going to go down as a jump ball as McCray kind of went up. An Upper Moreland Bears defender got a hand on the ball, and then with McCray coming back down to the ground, that is by rule a jump ball, and the possession arrow favors the Upper Moreland Bears right now, so they will take possession. They inbound it to Ranier Dennis. Well, Tevin Bush got his opportunity to come into the game. Scored his first points of the season last game in that blowout win against Truman. Ranier Dennis. Going out to Matt Worley. Kick it out for Flommer. Flommer being guarded by McCray. Puts up the jumper. It's well short. McCray pulls down the rebound. Nice bounce pass for Webb. All the way to the cup, and he'll get fouled. Great pass. Webb with the burst to go get it, and ends up at the line. 20 rebounds now for the Eagles compared to Upper Moreland's 8. Dominating that battle, as we've mentioned time and time again, and it's been key for them. Here is Aaron Webb. Missing the first. Webb, one of those juniors that'll be kind of key for this team, I feel, as it goes along. He's got just 2 points tonight. He had 8 points last game. But, I mean, you know, part of that great depth that this Eagles team has as he hits second free throw. Eagles now 9 of 12 from the line. 75%. That's excellent. If they could do that every game, they'll be happy. Here's Matt Worley. Been the point guard for 95% of the game for the Upper Moreland Bears. And McCray's called for the push. And that's going to send him to the line for 1-and-1. It's going to send Phil Morris to the line. 63-35. It was kind of scary in the first quarter when it ended with the Eagles having just a 2-point lead. It was tied and one possession game throughout that first quarter. But the Eagles, they showed up big, in a big way. And now lead it by 28. And that's kind of what we expected, honestly. I mean, Upper Moreland is a perennial bottom dweller as the rebound goes to Bayless, who hasn't seen a ton of playing time through his first 2 games as an Eagle, but it's only going to increase as he gets to know the system and all of his teammates better, and he'll bring some excitement to this team. Here's Tevin Bush out to Webb. There's Bayless missing it. It's knocked around, and Upper Moreland comes out with it. They'll try to run, and they're going to call the push on White, who's got his arms in the air. But Dennis went out of bounds, and they call the push at 1-and-1 again. Or now it'll be 2, I believe, actually, for Upper Moreland, as the Eagles have committed their 10th foul. But, yeah, perennial bottom dwellers are the Upper Moreland Bears, and the Eagles over the past years, their list of accolades just goes on and on. District 1 champs, PIAA, Quad A, state runners-up a couple years ago, undefeated regular season 2 years ago, Khalif Wyatt Player of the Year last year in the area. I mean, the list goes on and on. And yes, it's a new year, but, I mean, obviously the Eagles expected to win handily here tonight, and they're going to. It's 63-37. I'm Mark Kolinsky. You've been watching basketball on NASD TV. We still got 3.5 minutes to go. Here's Aaron Webb. Getting it to McCray. And now that one's nearly taken away by Flommer, and he will not be able to hustle it down. Right into that table courtside where me and my statistician Tim Sikowski would usually reside. Good thing, good thing we weren't. 'Cause Ben Flommer's a pretty big dude. Here's Tyrese White. Getting a screen from Bayless, losing it. The defender gambled, tried to pick it up. White into the paint, puts it up. Oh, no, he got it. What a fancy little move there by Tyrese White. Tyrese White, he's impressed me. I like Tyrese White. Here's Worley. Doing it to Phil Morris. Puts up the jumper. No good. The shooting has not been on for the Upper Moreland Bears tonight, and they kind of needed it to have a chance because that's the one thing they could kind of do. And if they catch fire, they could be a little dangerous. But they didn't do it tonight at all. And Eagles have the big lead. I mean, they had to be on point if they wanted to have a chance against a powerful opponent like the Eagles. Here's Bayless. Getting it over to Aaron Webb. Aaron Webb trying to burst through. Baseline. Left it way short, but McCray cleans it up and puts it in. How many times have I said that tonight? Somebody's cleaned it up and put it back in. Too many offensive rebounds for the Eagles down low. And then they're able to just go back up quite ever so effortlessly, and it's a 30-point lead. The Eagles looking good in the early going. Of course, that opening game was kind of scary against Math, Civics, and Sciences as Fulmer puts it up and in on a foul. He's been real good tonight. He's been the lone bright spot for Upper Moreland. But, yeah, I mean, that was a close game throughout, that opening game against Math, Civics, and Sciences Charter, and ended up a 9-point victory as the Eagles really turned it on in the fourth quarter. And then the blowout win against Truman. They're going to get a blowout win here tonight, despite Ben Fulmer having 20 points. Davis has matched him point for point, and Jaquil Hargrove just behind him with 18. 38 points between Hargrove and Davis of the Eagles' 67. What contributions from these guys. Of course, Hargrove coming into the game averaging 9 a game. Davis coming into the game averaging 9.5 a game. Upper Moreland just 10 of 15 from the line. Not terrible, but the Eagles have outdone it easily here tonight. And Upper Moreland leaving a couple points at the line. That doesn't help. Here's Webb getting it to Bayless. Takes the foul line jumper. Doesn't get the shooter's touch. And it's pulled down by Giordano, who gets a lot of boards down there. That 6'3" center. That left on the rim. And the Eagles, with just a minute and a half to go, have the 17-point lead as Upper Moreland tries to steal it away from Webb from behind, but they're unable to do it. Here's Webb now, guarded by Ranye Dennis. Jaquan Hargrove with a nice move. Nice feed to Bush. Puts it up off the backboard and in. Nice reaction from the crowd. What a beautiful feed from Hargrove. That is Jaquan Hargrove, of course, Jaquil Hargrove's brother. Jaquan, a junior. Jaquil, a senior. Foul on McCray. And boy, the Eagles with yet another foul. They've already been in the double bonus. And now another 2 free throws from Matt Worley. Too many fouls. But I mean, really, you can't complain, and it's 69-40. Of course, Tom Smith over on that bench as the free throws missed. Not in uniform. We hope to see him back on the floor in action. And that would be huge. I mean, out of all the players on the team this year, nobody had a bigger role on last year's team than Tom Smith, as he was 4th on the team in scoring. He didn't start a single game, but he was still 4th on the team in scoring. The second free throw was good from Worley. But, yeah, Tom Smith was just a huge key last year. And if we could get him back, oh, man, it's just looking even better. And, I mean, Tom Smith does so many more things, too, just with his heart and his passion. And also, he'll give you some good rebounding and defense down low as well. And, I mean, through the first couple of games, that's one place that the Eagles haven't really stood out. It hasn't been a weakness that's been exposed to the point of them losing games, as, I mean, Yates and now Bayless have been fine. But getting Tom Smith there, perhaps they could turn it into somewhat of a strength. Here's Webb. Just a half minute to go in the game. Eagles lead by 28. Upper Moreland going to go to 0-4. Eagles going to go to 3-0. Here's Jaquan Hargrove getting it to Bush. He'll lay it up and in. Just 9 seconds to go now. 71-41. Eagles, boy, 71 points. What an offensive display. Dennis puts it up and in. So your final is going to be 71-43 here as the Eagles go to 3-0 on the year. Well, quite a game for Davis and Hargrove, as we said, combining for 28. And all that speed that those guys have, along with Sheldon Mayer, who ended up with 7, despite a kind of pedestrian first half. But, yeah, the Eagles, 3-0. Davis and Hargrove are going to look to carry this team this year. And I like the Eagles' chances so far. A lot of questions about Khalif Wyatt and about the size inside, but those questions have been answered in these first couple of games. And the Eagles are in good shape. Once again, your final score, 71-43. The Eagles come out victorious. I'm Mark Kodinsky. For everyone here at NASD TV, Tim Skowski on statistician, Griffin Blake on camera. We'll see you next time. Join us all year long for some boys basketball, girls basketball, and some analysis on the sports show. We'll see you next time.